everybody, it's Bob Megan, and welcome to another episode of Coronavirus in the Independent Retailer Podcast. What I had hoped was going to be the shortest podcast in the history of podcasting, but is looking like we're going to be together for a while. So, first thing that I want to say to you, to all of us, to Joe and Sam and Susan, and to all of you is congratulations. We made it through another day. You know, this will end, and every day we make it through, we're one day closer to the end. So, congratulations. That's the good news. Other good news here in the United States, and I know that governments around the world are working with the same sense of urgency, the same sense of resolve, but yesterday in our government, there was a bill passed that had $350 billion earmarked for loans to small businesses and $250 billion earmarked to give directly to consumers. And that $250, people are going to spend that money. So all of this is good news. What it means for the long-term health of our economy, that remains to be seen, but let's just focus on what's in front of us right now today. Other news, I went through that poll 2 days ago. God, everything is moving so fast, isn't it? I mean, it's just to think, this is only 8 episodes. It seems like a lifetime ago we started this podcast. But 2 days ago, I did a poll asking people about the status of their business. And I just wanted to report on that. So 36% of you who replied, who participated in this entirely, incredibly unscientific poll, 36% of you said that you are doing business on a limited basis. 25% of you are closed by state mandate. 17% of you are closed voluntarily. 10% of you are open. And, you know, there were a lot of sort of interesting outliers, but two responses, 0.3%, 2 responses said you're very, very busy. And I found that super interesting, but I also think it points to something that we all need to acknowledge as participants in this podcast, in the WhizBang retailers community, is that everybody is in a different circumstance. And we just need to recognize that what might be real for you is not real for everyone. So we should show understanding and patience when people are replying in a way that doesn't line up with our views or our situation. And I just want to say, on WhizBang retailers, I just want to say thank you to everybody who is participating, everybody who is showing support, everybody who is keeping it positive and keeping it real. Again, we're in this together. Every day matters. We're moving forward. But today I want to talk about your staff, because I also know that many, many, many of you have laid off most of your staff, all of your staff. You're down to skeleton crews. So let's talk about how we handle that, or here are some thoughts on how you could handle it. How you handle it is really up to you, of course, and your leadership style. But let's just recognize that this is a leadership issue. You need to be a leader right now. You may not feel like being a leader right now, but if this is your business, it is your obligation to be a leader. It's your obligation to stand up, sit up, do the uncomfortable things, and be a leader for your team. The first assumption that I'm going to make when we talk about this is that you want your people back. You know, I have talked to many, many, many retailers who said, man, I wish I could start all over with my staff. Well, if that is you, this is your chance. This is also an opportunity to not bring back your toxic employees. This is an opportunity for you to really, really sort of prune your team and start anew in a very real and meaningful way when this whole thing is done. But let's just sort of work from the assumption that you want your people back. So how do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them enthusiastic? How do we keep them on our team, so to speak? And the first thing is regular communication. They're scared, you're scared, everybody's anxious. It is the nature of our world right now. And if you can show leadership, if you can communicate on a regular basis, it will have a calming effect, provided that you do it correctly. So regular communication. We've talked with several of our clients who are having for lack of a better team, a team check-in every day. Now, this is important. If you've laid somebody off, you cannot have a mandatory check-in. But, they have a great culture, so they have a check-in. You can use Zoom, you can use High Five, you can use Google Hangouts, but, just give everybody an opportunity to get together and talk. You were a team. This is a way to keep your team together, even though you're not technically together. So regular communication. The second thing is be real. Be transparent. Tell them what you're thinking. Give them information. Here's what people want. They want real information. One of the frustrations that I know a lot of Americans are feeling right now is that there is conflicting information coming from all sorts of different sources. I don't care if the news is bad. I just want the truth. And I think that is an operative philosophy when you talk to your team. What is the truth? Tell them you want to be transparent, but don't panic. They don't want to see you panic. You need to be the voice of calm. Underneath, you can be shaking like a leaf. How do you like that? You can be shaking like a leaf, but you need to be calm. You can be a bearer of bad news and be calm at the same time. But people want the truth. Tell them what you are doing, not what you can't do. So right now, this bill just passed. You can tell your team something along the lines of, I am looking into it. I have a call out with our Small Business Administration loan officer. I'm doing this, and this. I have checked into unemployment. I have done these things to help us as a team move forward. They want to know that you're doing something for them. So tell them what you're doing. Be judicious with the news about what you can't do. So be transparent, but don't panic. And the other thing is to recognize that everybody's not the same. Everyone is not the same. Some people shut down in the face of anxiety. Some people get real talky. Some people, naturally panic. Just recognize that your people are different. They're all human beings. They all react differently. And so your job as a leader is to meet people where they are. So let's say you're having a daily Google Hangout or a weekly Google Hangout. It's your job to sort of pay attention. How are people feeling? Does somebody need a little extra love? Does somebody need does somebody need a gift? Does somebody need a phone call? This is where you get a chance to shine. This is where you get a chance to be a real leader. Understand that your people are different and they need to be treated differently. And the final thing that I want to say about it, if someone doesn't behave the way that you want them to behave, don't take it personally. Again, everybody reacts differently, don't they? Some people need to find someone to blame, and you may be that person. They may not even blame you, but you just happen to be in the line of fire at a moment when they are feeling particularly panicking. People are home with their kids. People, this is unprecedented, baby. So this is our chance to really, really shine. So if somebody comes at you, if you didn't give somebody the answer that they want and they don't behave in the way that you had hoped, don't take it personally. Recently, Ken Barr Jr. came and did a team building exercise with us. Ken is a certified Gallup strengths coach. And it was a wonderful team exercise. It seems like it happened about 4 years ago. How long ago was that we did it?
3 weeks ago.
Like about 3 weeks ago. But he shared a great technique that I made a Real Retail TV about. It's called Q-tip. And Q-tip is an acronym for quit taking it personally. So The prompt is when you start to take it personally. You're telling your team about what you're doing and somebody's not satisfied with your answer. Go like this. Just put it under the table. And you know how you get a Q-tip and you run the head of the Q-tip through your fingers like that? This is your physical reaction that is a prompt to tell your brain to quit taking it personally. Just because they're having a difficult time doesn't mean you need to react to it. It's not about you. It's about them and how they're reacting to their situation. So that's it. I would really, really encourage you to make sure that you remain proactive, incredibly proactive when it comes to keeping your team on your side, when it comes to keeping them engaged in the future of your business. Now is the time when you get to shine as a leader. And I just want to bring it to the future again and make sure that we all understand that everything that we're going through and everything that we're learning and all of the hardships that we are experiencing, and we all are experiencing hardship. Have you tried living with Joe and Sam? No. I'm sorry. Joe and Sam are totally charming, and I don't know. I'm getting kind of slap happy here, but we all will be better at the end of this. So we're one day closer. I just want you to remember to hang tight, to stay grateful, to move forward, to make it through today, and I'll see you tomorrow.